Why are you an Asian woman?
I don't know. It's the random the random. I don't know.
Where are we dropping?
You lead the way, play. I don't even know. I don't know.
Alright. Let me know when we're actually starting recording.
Oh, I've been recording. It
Oh
started
shoot.
with why are you an Asian woman?
It's
So
gonna be a
that's
crazy
I'm definitely
episode.
gonna I'll have to cut out the stuff about the uh, Father Justin, Father Thomas, and all that, but I'm definitely gonna
Yeah.
keep the why are you an Asian woman?
Nah, you're gonna keep the why are you an Asian woman?
Okay,
Will
all right.
look terrible.
Okay, so I mean nobody's watching, but tell the people who you are and a quick um, backstory background of yourself.
Sure. I
What did
am
you say?
Truett, aka Nectarios, my baptismal name. I was raised Roman Catholic. Um, my father was raised in a Roman Catholic orphanage. My mother
Really?
was,
I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. My mother was raised, originally, her family was Church of Christ. We're getting shot at, by the way. And then eventually became
Well, I jumped off a rock and I'm
just
dying.
kind of evangelical Baptist, like non denominational. Long story short, they had some drama where, like, the Church of Christ was kind of um, judging their family for something that like her brother had done. Um, and so they decided to leave the Church of Christ. This guy sucks. Holy cow. This guy's got to be a bot. So they left the Church of Christ. And like I said, they became non denominational, kind of evangelical. They actually, my my grandpa had been to, he told me one time, I think when they were still Church of Christ, they actually went down to the Orthodox Church. No, it couldn't have been when he was Church of Christ. He's probably Baptist or something at the time. But he went down to the Orthodox Church because he got invited to the Greek Orthodox Church to go check it out. And he always talks about that they taught him how to eat pasta the right way
That's funny. What is the right way to
with
eat
real
pasta?
cheese. Because he said it was with real macaroni and cheese, so like you had to actually turn the fork to get the cheese to go on the pasta. But yeah, so then I don't want to say devoutly Catholic, but I was like involved in the church. Went on a lot of Acts retreats. Anybody who's Catholic will know what those are. Um, they actually started in San Antonio, and then they became like a worldwide thing. I knew one of the guys who started it. Like I know one of the guys who helped found the Acts retreats, which is cool. Um, I don't know him anymore because I haven't been to that church since the funeral for my buddy a couple months back. But it was cool to know him and things like that. Like it was cool because I was a big, I don't say like a big part of the community, but like I knew everybody in the Catholic Church. I had my godfather had met the Pope a bunch of times. I had friends and family that had met popes. Um, so it was like I knew a lot of people that were in the church. I was good friends with the bishop, Bishop Gary, real nice guy. They kept trying to get me to become a priest. They kept inviting me to go tour the seminary, which was interesting. I mean, I it was fun to explore it and to like see what all it was about. Um, then I grow up, whatever, do my first communion, do all this stuff. I went to a like a non-denominational private school. Like they were Christian, but there was no like denomination. I always got crap for being Catholic. You eat God, you think you eat God, all that stuff.
What? People say
Um,
that like it's a freaking insult.
well, no, they don't understand it though. You know how it is. They're like, you think you're eating God? That's not possible. How does that work? That's a symbol. That's not really. Um, I kind of at that time I didn't really understand the differences. It was just kind of like, eh. I will say I never was a Protestant. Like never in my whole journey through my faith was I ever a Protestant. I'm proud to say that. I never really liked Protestantism. I always kind of thought it was like very surface level. And then even just beyond surface level, like I just kind of thought it was disingenuous. Like I had a pastor telling me that he was receiving visions from God about like students, and I was just kind of like, okay, it's a little, it's a little weird. Um, there was that. I went to a public school for a little while once I got diagnosed with dyslexia, and then that became a big issue because there's a lot of like very bad kids there. I'm going a little out of order, but there were a lot of bad kids there
Yeah,
that were
there's a
like,
lot of
I
bad
got
kids in public school.
yeah, I got in
Me?
trouble for saying some stuff to some people that I didn't know what the meaning of what I was saying was because I got told to say it, which I should have been smart enough to like not just be saying crap, but you know, I was in elementary school and that happened. Um, then oh goodness, ended up becoming homeschooled during COVID because I had had pneumonia like 8 times in my
Dang,
life. I've had
dog.
pneumonia. hmm
Just like
Yeah.
a little frail little boy.
Yeah, I was. I had RSV as a baby. Or what is my build settings? I had RSV as a baby, and that had my build settings suck. Holy cow! I had RSV as a baby, which then just kind of really set me up for failure. Here, come over here by this truck. It had really set me up for failure to where I got pneumonia a bunch of times. You got full shield now.
Cool.
It really set me up for failure. Like I just was not. Oh, let's take one of these golf carts. I kept getting pneumonia. I kept getting strep throat, which was then causing me to get pneumonia because of the fluid that builds up from it. It was not good. So then after I leave, I forget how slow these things are. I left the public school and went and joined a Catholic school for a little while. In the middle of this, like high school is when I kind of got involved, like really involved, but it's also kind of at the same time when I became like Catholic in name only. Oh shoot, jump out, jump out. Like get third party.
Oh.
I wasn't really like I called myself Catholic. I told everybody like I want my kids to be Catholic. Like I want to have a family that's Catholic. I want to get married in the Catholic Church. But it didn't like it was like culturally Catholic. Like it didn't actually really matter to me all that much, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? It was like I was like culturally Catholic, like, oh, you know, I don't believe in divorce, I don't believe in this. But then again, like I was at the same time, like not at all standing up for the tenets of Catholicism or any apostolic faith for that matter. So it was kind of like disingenuous of me. What the heck is a rift anomaly? I don't know. Anyway, that was disingenuous of me. But I ended up joining like the parish council. I kind of became like the favorite of the youth. Not pastor because we don't have pastors, but like the youth minister.
Yeah.
The lady in charge of the youth ministry. I became like everybody kind of said I was her favorite, so I got away with a lot of stuff. I was like the least suspected of doing anything bad, but like there were times that like I was on retreats and I was sneaking out with people and you know stuff that would have gotten me in a lot of trouble. But I was just never. I was very unassuming guy right here. So then I end up getting in trouble on an axe retreat.
Yeah.
Long story with that I'm not going to go into. And I kind of became like a little bit ostracized from the community. Nah, I don't know. Well, I guess yeah, ostracized is the word. Like I became like an outcast because everybody kind of threw me under the bus and blamed me for stuff that happened, even though it wasn't my fault. I mean, I was involved, but it wasn't like I was doing. Like I was not the perpetrator. I just happened to be there. But her
That's
main
what they all
concern was that
say.
I was there, and so I was guilty by association. And so since I was guilty by association, it was kind of like a damned if I did, damned if I didn't. Like there was nothing I could say. She never even asked me about it. Bro, what the heck weapon do you have that's so powerful?
It's a arc lightning
Guy down
gun.
here. Watch out, guy right there. So yeah, I was like, there was nothing I could do that was gonna win her over. She didn't even take the time to like ask me if I was there or not. Everybody just kind of threw me under the bus. So I kind of left the community for a while and just was like, I'm not going back. I'm going to do my own thing. I was going, but I kind of knew like I wasn't gonna be a part of the community. I go to Europe because my dad gets stationed over there, and that was a real interest. That was a real cool experience. Um, I had been to Greece in 2022 on a family vacation, and I found these icons everywhere. I thought they were just Catholic. Like I don't think I really understood what Orthodoxy was, or that it was like even different or anything like that. Like I
Yeah.
was just kind of like, oh, there's icons of my patron saint. You know, that's cool. They must be Catholic, without really understanding that like it was a pre-schism saint. Like I didn't understand the concept of like schism and all that at the
Yeah.
time. Um, so then I end up um, falling in love with iconography. Like I had bought all these Catholic icons of like Joan of Arc and all this other stuff, which, you know, it's cool, but it's heretical. Like you can't, you know, it's unorthodox. It's heterodox.
I remember watching a
So
movie of Joan of Arc in history class in eighth grade.
really, your school allowed religious figures. I mean, I know she was a historical figure, but
Yeah. Oh, this
guy
is
up
in
here.
Mississippi.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
I call that
You're in, what is that,
I call
Bible
that
Belt?
Taylor Swift Christianity. My time in
Makes
this
sense.
my time in Mississippi. Anyway, keep going.
Well, anyway, so yeah, I end up going back to Europe, like I said, and I know that Orthodox churches have icons in them now. So I was like, and there was a Russian Orthodox little church, Saint Nicholas, I want to say, Cathedral in Stuttgart, Germany. I want to say it was, and that was cool. I got 7 kills already. Dang.
Okay, sure.
That was cool because it was literally right down the road. Like I could walk to it. So I remember walking to it and I saw the walls covered in iconography and I was like, whoa, I need to start looking at Orthodox churches and finding icons. These are great. And so I start a wingsuit. The heck is that? So I start looking around and I just start going to Orthodox churches. What the heck?
Where was this in Europe?
Yeah, I start going to Orthodox churches in every single country um, that we go to. So I went to one in like Paris. I went to one in the one I went to in Paris is actually right next to the Eiffel Tower. I forget the name of the cathedral, but literally it is a block from the Eiffel Tower. It's a Russian one, and they have to keep a armed guard there and a like a metal detector when you go in. You have to put everything into a metal detector because of all the threats that the Russian Orthodox Church has gotten. Because people think that because it's Russian Orthodox, they just think that has something to do with the government. Are you driving a reboot van?
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't even know that was a thing now. They think that because it's Russian, because it's Russian, they think it has something to do with the Russian government. And so people keep threatening all the churches. Same thing in Vienna, the Russian Orthodox Cathedral in Vienna. Everybody it's funny enough, it's right next to the Iranian embassy, and people threaten both that and the Iranian embassy. So there has to be a National Guardsman stationed outside both, an Austrian National Guardsman stationed outside both because there's threats. So we're going to all these Orthodox churches. I end up with an icon that's still on my wall. In between games, I'll pull it down and I'll show you. Let's see what shootings at. I end up figuring out that he's an Orthodox saint and not a Catholic saint. Now, at this point, I had gotten to the point where I was like, well, if the Orthodox Church considers him a saint, they're probably a saint. You know what I mean? Like, the schism doesn't really matter. There's guys up here too. Don't pinch us. Don't try to attack those guys if we can get these. I basically was of the opinion, I was an ecumenist. I was like, well, if they're a saint, they're a saint. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
There is no Catholic or non-Catholic, you know what I mean? Without really understanding how that worked. And so Saint Lazar, the Prince of Serbia, did you kill that one guy?
I
Yeah, you
got
did.
I think I downed one.
Guy
Oh,
coming up right here. Saint Lazar, Prince of Serbia. I get his icon and I start looking into his life, and I'm like, well, this is clearly a holy man. Like he died defending his country from the threat of Islam, um, and pretty much saving single-handedly for at least a long period of time. I won't say single-handedly, but for a very long period of time, stopping Christian Europe from being invaded by Islam. It stopped right at Kosovo when he died. So he sacrifices his life fighting this to stop the incursion. He is successful in stopping it for quite some time, to the point that it pretty much does stop in the Balkans, right? I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
So that's a large part thanks to his warfare. Bro, where are we getting shot at from? Oh, everywhere. That's nice. It's a large part thanks to his efforts in the war and sacrificing himself. Did you just kill that guy, or am I tweaking?
I killed somebody.
Okay, good. So large part due to his efforts in the war. He did a great deal to stop it. Like I said, I'm not saying he single-handedly did it, but he put in a great deal of effort to stop it. Watch out, we're getting sniped from behind. Just knocked him. He put in a great deal of effort to stop that from happening. And I was like, well, this is clearly a holy man of God. So I get home, and I think because I had looked up all these Orthodox saints, YouTube thought I was Orthodox. It started recommending Orthodox videos.
Yeah.
And I'm watching these Orthodox videos. How many people are left? There's only 5 people left. I start watching all these Orthodox videos because it's recommending them to me, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. Big Brother's listening, so I was like, well, okay. I'm listening. I'm really interested by all this stuff. This guy's partner is about to pull up. I'm really interested by it. I'm like, well, I had, at that time, on me, I had become never mind, I clapped him. I had become very disenfranchised with the Pope. This is before Leo.
Yeah.
I had become very disenfranchised with the Pope. I was like, this guy's clearly an anti-Pope. If even, like, clearly, how can this guy be infallible if he's saying, like, if he's going to a Pachamama worship service where they
What
worship
is?
like
I've
a
heard that
deity?
several times. What is Pachamama?
It's like a, I don't think it's Aztec, but it's like one of the, we're going the opposite direction, but we'll go this way. It's one of those like Native American, like Native Mexican deities.
Okay. I thought it was a
Like
place.
also, you thought it was a what?
I thought it was a place.
No, it was, she's like a deity of like fertility, I think. Something along those lines. We'll get this drop right here. And he went to a worship service, and I'm like, he's supposed to be infallible. How are you going to a deity, like an ancient deity worship service? Oh, a self-revive. Take that, actually. That's useful. It's a self-revive. If you have something to drop for. Oh, and run. The Pachamama is like an ancient deity. How are you going to be going to an ancient deity worship service when you're the Pope? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And for me, that was like a telltale sign. Something's off with Catholicism. Something's not right. And I had Catholic friends that were telling me, oh, you know, it's just sometimes you get bad popes. And I'm like, but how can you have a bad pope?
Yeah.
If the pope is infallible? You know? And then I start learning about Orthodoxy. Well, there's councils and there's multiple popes. And in my mind, I saw it as multiple popes. It's not really multiple popes. This is a guy in front of me, by the way. It's not really multiple popes, but in my mind, multiple popes, patriarchs. So I'm like, well, this is great. If there's patriarchs and they're all equal and there's no exclusivity claims to being like unfallible, then we might actually win this game. Holy cow.
Are you talking about I'm bad at Fortnite?
You said you were self-proclaimed bad at Fortnite.
Yeah, but I think that first the run through the river kind of.
I'll bet. We're also low level right now.
So anyway, we're low level, like we're playing low level.
The lobbies are matchmaked based on your level. So both our levels are pretty low since it's a new season. So we're playing against low level people as well, which are all like either new people or they're bots, like robots.
Yeah. Combat training. Black Ops combat training.
So basically, I even called my priest at one point, and this was actually before I ever went to Europe. This was a little bit before, and I still remember what I was doing. It was weird. Of all things, I was watching the Elvis movie with Austin Butler,
Eldest
and
movie? Oh, Elvis.
yeah, I had left a let's go. I had left a request on the office for him to call me, and I asked him. I said, how are the popes infallible if they disagree with each other?" And he said, "Well, they don't actually disagree with each other." And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, have you seen the last two popes?" And he was like, "Well, they technically didn't disagree on anything theologically." I'm like, I find that very hard to believe. One was a conservative and one was a more liberal. So how does that work? How do you have like one conservative and one liberal um, pope if they don't disagree with each other on theological matters? You know,
Yeah.
that didn't make sense to me. So anyway, I get back from Europe. I'm looking into all this, and it's hitting me. I'm like, well, this is actually has a lot of validity to it, like a lot. I think it was. Oh goodness, I was at a Cracker Barrel in must have been January or February, and I literally at that point I hadn't even been to a service yet. I was like, I'm gonna be Orthodox.
Yeah.
Like I just knew. I hadn't even been to a service yet. I was just like, I'm Orthodox. Like I know I'm Orthodox. People asked me what I was. I said I'm inquiring to Orthodoxy. Because at that point I knew, I had already known and discerned that that was the truth. It didn't take long for me.
Yeah. Same.
What the heck? Why are we're surfing? This is interesting. This is actually kind of cool. What the heck? Sorry, y'all. I've never seen this. I played Fortnite way back in the day when I was littler. I don't ever remember this. This is kind of cool, actually. Oh shoot, that's kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, I knew I was gonna be Orthodox. Like I just kind of knew in my mind that that was the truth, and that that was where the church was.
Yeah.
At that time, I was a little more soft on Catholicism than I am now. But I was like, pretty much like, I believe that this is the truth. This is the one true church. My mom was a little skeptical of it at first. Like when I first told her I want to be Orthodox, she was like, "You're not going to become Orthodox." She's like, "You haven't even been to a service yet." And I was like, I don't even need to go to a service yet, like to know that I'm Orthodox. So of course, we're going to go to a service. I was like, but I already know I want to become Orthodox. She's like, "Well, you're not converting until you go to service." I was like, "Well, yeah, obviously, because that's not even how it's not even how the conversion process works. You have to go to a service." So I was originally going to go with my neighbor, who, funny enough, was actually my confirmation sponsor when I became Catholic. She was going to take me to the Orthodox Church. She was like, "It's close enough, and if it brings you closer to God, then I'm okay with it." She's a ecumenist.
Yeah.
So I was like she's even told me, she's like, "Oh, you know, it doesn't really matter if you're Orthodox or not. Like it just if you follow God." Bro, I'm getting clapped right now. I got 3 people on me. Assistance is needed.
I don't know. Oh. Yo, wingsuit just clutch.
I got one of them down.
All I have is grenades.
I knocked the one of them. Sorry, y'all. I get competitive. That was easy. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I kind of knew I was going to be Orthodox before I even got to a service. I decided to go with my mother. We went, and immediately, first time we were there, we lost our car keys.
This was Saint Sophia?
Yeah. So my mom was like, somebody steal our car keys. So we ended up finding, Gary actually helped us find them. Theodore, Gary.
Yeah.
He actually helped us find them. So he was one of the first people we met. And then, yeah, we just started going every week. My mom loved how tight knit it was. Like it seemed like it was a small. I mean, it was a lot smaller than St. Mark's Catholic, which is where we were going before, which is a huge church with like core families. Like I
You
can't
said
tell you how
core
many people there
families?
are. I no, I'm saying I can't even tell you how many people there are that go there. But like, there's so many families that if you go to 5 o'clock mass, you're gonna get a whole different crowd. You're not gonna even see a singular person that's the same other than the choir than if you went to like morning mass. That's how big it is.
Yeah.
So like it's like three different communities based on mass times. Like a, there's it's just huge. It's gigantic. And there's just a giant community there. And in Catholicism, you don't have a spiritual father like you do in Orthodoxy. Like
Yeah.
your priest is just kind of your priest. Like he just does your services and he's kind of just your friend. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
like Orthodoxy where there's like an actual reverence for the office that the priest holds. Like there's a great deal of respect for the priests that everybody pretty much approach. I was about to blast you, bro. You're lucky they don't have
Friendly fire?
team day, yeah, friendly firearm. You're about to get blasted. They, it's not like in Orthodoxy where there's like a great deal of respect for the office. Like when you see a priest, you go receive his blessing when you speak to him out of respect of him
Yeah.
and the office that he holds. It's just kind of like, oh, you're my friend. Same with the bishop. Like when when the Orthodox bishop comes around, everybody's on their best behavior. When the Catholic bishop comes around, it's just kind of like bishop's here, kind of like dad comes home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like a big deal. But like in Orthodoxy, when the bishop comes home, you know, it's like roll out the red carpet. The bishop is here. Um, bring out like the parade, military parade. You know what I mean? Like it's a full thing. I got a good gun for you, by the way.
It's like a assault rifle? That's kind of more my thing.
Yeah, I got you right here, purple. Um. So. Anyway, so yeah, it's a huge community, gigantic. But my mom never really loved that. She was like, I mean, we had been going there for years, and the only reason we were going back is because I knew the community really well. Like I knew the young kids was where the tight knit community was. All the families of the younger kids, like the teenagers, all of them knew each other. We were all good friends. We all went to each other's like baptisms when some of them were getting baptized. But a lot of us were cradles. Like I was a cradle Catholic. I was raised Catholic. Um, my all of my friends were raised Catholic. Problem is, none of us took it serious.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, I talked about rest in peace to my brother Bryson, 18 years old, passed away just a couple months back, unfortunately. The last time I was there was for that funeral and for his burial. I still go to the Catholic graveyard every once in a while to go check on him, which I
Your
need to go
brother?
do.
You say your brother?
No, he's a good friend. He was a good friend of mine though. I mean, he and I were pretty close for a while. Unfortunately, before he passed away, we kind of like lost touch and weren't in contact. Like when I kind of left the community, but we knew each other for like 5 years and got pretty close. All that community was really close. That's the thing. Like all the young adults, like I was saying, the young adults, the teenagers, all of that kind of community was like brothers and sisters, siblings, like kind of relationship. Like everybody watched each other go through high school together. A lot of like our deacon, he delivered four of the teenagers that were in like the core group because he was an OBGYN. He like delivered them
Yeah.
as babies. So a lot of them grew up together, literally like pretty much as siblings because they were delivered by the same people. Their families were always together. So his death hit some other people harder than it hit me. I have a different outlook on death. Like I'm not afraid of death. Death doesn't really make me sad like it
Yeah.
does other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of sounds cold.
Yeah. No, same.
I know it sounds cold, but death has never really affected me very much. It did when I was really, really young, but it hasn't in a long time. But I think it's just because I kind of trained my mind to like flip a switch to kind of be like, you just got to keep going. Like that's how I cope with pain and stuff. Like and with people losing people, and growing up, like it always bothered me that friends would just come and go. and it'd be like you'd be the most loyal person because I'm loyal to a fault. You'd be the most loyal person, and then as soon as the opportunity rises, everybody's going to switch up on you.
Oh yeah.
And that made me so mad as a kid. And I would hold it against people. Like I would hold grudges to the point that like I wouldn't talk to people anymore. Like I could have told you my deepest, darkest secret that I was going to take to my grave. And if you betrayed me even slightly, I am never going to tell you nothing again. Like that's how, I don't know what the word is. Like I guess it'd be petty. I don't even consider that petty, but it was just like, that was my mindset.
Yeah. I
And it
was
still kind of
similar.
is. I
Still
mean,
similar.
I try to be more forgiving now. And I still fail at that constantly because it's very hard to forgive. Like, the situation with my dad. I'm not going to go into that here, but it's very hard to forgive somebody like that who you're supposed to be able to trust with your little life, and they clearly have no concern for your feelings. They have no concern for your well-being, like none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's why I'm not as much affected by that as like my brother is. My brother was scarred because his father, his biological dad, did the same things. So he's scarred because he kind of let himself get opened up to my father, just for my father to turn around and do the same thing. So for him, that's even more scarring because he's going through it all again. But like for me, I'm kind of built for stuff like this, and I think you and I kind of are in the same boat there. Like people like you and me are built for that kind of stuff because we can take the pain. Like we can take that stuff on the chin and not have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
we'll
I
get over it.
also, and not to interrupt you, but I know I had the people closest to me, the people I should count on, should be able to, similar to you, fail me. You kind of just
Mm-hmm.
leave me hanging.
Leave you out in the dark.
So it
Yeah.
was like, okay, well, from now on,
All I
just
have is me and God.
yeah, basically. And it was kind of like God like taught me that again and again. Because
Yeah.
you know how Christ said, a man will be purged to bear more fruit. It was kind of like that. At
Mm-hmm.
least that's how it felt. It was just like, okay,
No, absolutely.
God trimmed the tree. Now I know only rely on Him slash who I can count on.
Yeah. Like be very selective of who your friends are. Here, come here so you can get some shield. Yeah. Be very selective of who your friends are. That's what I've learned. Like, no, I won't get into that. But I'm very selective of who my friends are now. Not really. Like I'm friends with people, but on who I count on, I
Yeah,
test it, and the second that I realize they're not reliable, I'm not gonna ask them for nothing again. And for me, like I'll still be cordial and friendly with you because that's what Christ calls us to do. But it doesn't mean that you're gonna be on the level of like you once were in my mind, if that makes
yeah,
sense. Like you're no longer like I forgive you. Like I get it, stuff happens. I mean, like I'm not saying, oh, if you don't do exactly what I want, that kind of thing. But what I mean is like, if there's literally no reason, like there's no valid excuse, and you're just dropping on me for no reason,
yeah.
or for something stupid for your own personal gain, and it was a time that I really needed you, or that like I was counting on you, and you just kind of left me out to dry. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take that, not personally, but the level of trust that there once was is not gonna exist for a long time.
Well, it reveals
There's
people's
another
true
guy did
colors when they do things, even in the world, and especially being in the nightlife scene and all that, and people just kind of are
come and go as they
shisty.
please out of your life.
You said what?
I said people just kind of come and go out of
Yeah.
your life as they please. What benefits them? Yeah. And we're getting sniped at, by the way, so be careful. I see. He's not very good. Yeah, I mean, people will do that constantly. I mean, it's happened in my life pretty often. Where people who I wanted to count on, friends who I wanted to actually call friends, they weren't,
Yeah.
like they were just using me. Or they just kind of left me around because I wasn't a problem. But the second something went wrong, the second I needed them, here's a med kit, by the way. Hang on. If I can figure out how to get to my inventory. Bro, how do you get to your inventory?
I don't know.
There we go. There we go. There we go. As soon as they don't need you anymore, it's like, oh, off to the side. You know what I mean? So I
Uh,
think for me, like death, like stuff like that, like Bryson's death, and my grandpa's 92. I don't expect to be around much longer. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to savor the time I have with him. And I hope he makes it a whole nother 10 more years. That'd be great. But realistically, is he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've kind of prepared myself for that. That like I'm ready for it. And instead of being sad, I'm thankful for the time that I spent with him. Um, and so that's just my outlook on death. It's a lot different than like some other individuals that I know that it really affects them like deeply, deeply. For me,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Now, needless death is where I get mad, like war, stuff like that. That's where I get not like emotionally like emotional. I mean, I can at times, but that's where my compassion takes over my like numbness, I guess you'd call it, where I'm like, somebody's got to do something about this.
Yeah.
That's where I get mad. Like you can ask my family. There's been times where like I've become frantic. Like we got to go over there right now and help these people because this is terrible. Like I was willing to drop everything and just go. And I'm not trying to like piety signal. I'm just this humble guy who's willing to help. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. But there were times, especially when I was younger and like less realistic of the world, where I was like, drop everything. I'm going to save these little orphans in Ukraine.
That's
You know what I mean? Now that I'm older, I kind of realize it's like, okay, the best I can do is donate to the people who actually know how to help. Because I like, what do I know? What am I going to do? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Or the best thing I can do is pray for them. Because what else can I do? So now I have a more realistic attitude. But I used to be very like, I got to go help these people right now. I got to go. Like I was basically I was trying to be Superman. Like I was gonna fix the whole world. I remember my brother telling me, he was like, "You're not gonna be able to fix the whole world." I was like, "I know," but like the least I can do is like try to help the people around while I can. Which I still stand by that. Like I think we should absolutely, but it's all within reason. That's something that just kind of comes with maturity, I guess. Like within reason, everything within reason.
Yeah. Within your assigned, I guess, calling.
Yeah, and what's within your means? Because like if you have a family with like 3 kids, yeah, it's probably not the best idea to just leave them, go to Ukraine, and try to help some orphans, and they die. That's no help to anybody. So it's like, and then if you're a kid and you have a mother and a father who love you, and it's going to spiritually be to their detriment if you die, which that would be to any parents. Yeah, it's probably not a great idea for you to go run off into a war zone like Gaza and try to help these little orphans. You know what I mean? Like the best thing you can do is donate to some charities that are reputable, that are going to help these kids, and pray. I mean, those are the only 2 things you can really do to help people. So yeah, I mean, I ended up coming to Orthodoxy. I was chrismated into the church since I was baptized Catholic. Have been going to the Greek church for just shy of a year, but as of today, actually, I have switched to the Serbian jurisdiction.
Do you have to do anything on paper?
No.
Oh.
You just get your spiritual father's blessing. I got my spiritual father's blessing, and I'm going to the Serbian parish. It's a mission parish over in Bulverde, which anybody who hasn't gone, I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
To Father Justin's parish, and you can put it in the description because they need all the support they can get. But that church is. Have I told you the story of the how they got everything paid for?
No.
Oh, bro, this church is literally a walking miracle. Like it's quite literally miraculous how this church has come to be so far. So Father Justin was in Utah. He did a mission parish for the Mormons there.
You said for the Mormons?
To help, yeah, for the Mormon community there. They needed a parish. There's a large number of them that were coming to Orthodoxy at the time. So he starts this parish about almost 10 years ago.
Hey, where was this again? You said Utah?
Utah. Yeah, around Salt Lake, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. 2 wins in a row, bro.
Just saying. Mr. Dude, you suck at Fortnite.
I just got good guns too, bro. So then later on, he decides he wants to come down to Texas because he figures his mission in Utah is done. He's built this church. I think he just had a calling to go somewhere else. and he had heard that Texas was getting a big influx, and all the churches were getting over full. So he decided to come down here to Texas to start a parish to help kind of offload like some of the overload of people.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, all the churches right now are in the city, other than the monastery. The monastery is really the only country parish. So he wanted to kind of serve the hill country a little bit while being close to the city, so he could do both. Which Bulverde is a perfect place. But they were looking at properties and they couldn't find anything that was in the price range because the price range wasn't high. I don't know what the price range was, but it was not very high. I know that. Father Justin has 10 kids. 2 of them are nuns at Pereskevi Monastery. All the rest of them live with him.
Dang.
So, and we call it the built-in church. All of his kids are chanters and altar servers.
Yeah. Dude, he's got the whole team, the whole setup.
Yeah, he basically has a church everywhere he goes.
Just set up in the corner of Walmart.
Yeah,
Blessed is
literally.
the Walmart is like, yo, what's
Blessed
going
is
on?
the name of the Father.
Master
Brother's
bless.
gonna, yeah, Father bless. And then when the kids say Father bless, they really mean Father.
Yeah. And our whole life to Christ our God.
To you,
Dude, is it gonna be? You're gonna have to adjust a whole new liturgy.
Not really. I mean, I've been adjusting. It's literally the exact same.
Do they do the
It's
Beatitudes?
I'm not. Which one is the Beatitudes chanted?
Well, it's the blessed is the, I mean the Beatitudes, Matthew chapter 5.
Oh, blessed is the kingdom of the Father.
Well, no, no. You know where we say Des Peres vi es that part
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
at the
I believe they
beginning.
do. But I think they do it in Serbian instead of Greek.
Well, so at least from what I'm reading, the kind of standard way is to do the Beatitudes. What? At the beginning, we
Hmm.
don't. I talked to well, anyway, like Saint Anthony's does. I'm not saying we should be doing it. I'm just saying we just don't. But so I'm just curious. Just curious.
We may be. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of the times during liturgy, I'm just trying to keep focused.
Oh, you
So
are.
unfortunately, my ADHD mind, I'm not always locked in as to what the chants are, which I should be. I'm gonna start doing that actually. Hopefully that'll help me focus.
You want to? Do you
Oh,
make
you're
stank
already
face?
down.
Cause you're
What'd you
so
say?
deep in prayer.
No, I start levitating every once in a while.
Oh,
Um,
oh, damn! You got a holographic site? But I see that every once in a while. I see you guys making stank
hey,
face.
some people do. They're like, it
I
looks like they're like high
I
sometimes.
try. I had to stop. I was telling River. I started standing at the front, especially with just me going. So I really can't see anybody. Because it gets,
Hmm.
I let myself get distracted and judgmental. I'm all like, that guy didn't do the cross, kick him out, and stuff like that. So
Low key, sometimes I be doing that too. I'm like, why didn't you cross like that? But then I have to remind myself, I'm like, they're probably new.
of course, yeah.
It's okay. And I'm like, and if they don't want to cross themselves, like that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay
I mean, I don't.
for
I
me.
mean, like confession. I mean, I don't know if it really matters, but transparency. When the holy God argios or theos, that section, and how
Hmm.
a lot of people they do it for every single one. I don't always do it. I'm always like, okay, I'll, sometimes I
I think
will.
that's kind of up to personal reverence as to how reverent they are. Like, or not even how reverent
How
they are, but like
reverent.
how their view of reverence is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Because
I
for somebody,
tell.
like, they may want to do it every single time to show reverence to
Yeah.
themselves. There may be other people that are like, one time is my version of reverence. I don't think there's really anything wrong with that, unless the priest like explicitly tells you, "Hey, I want this done this way." But I can't imagine a priest ever going to be like, "You have to cross yourself 3 times, otherwise, I'm not serving communion to
Yeah.
you."
No,
You know?
I make fun of you, a lot because you always you do your cross and you
I do the
bow, you
prostrations.
bow so aggressively. I'm like, dang.
Listen, I hit him
I'm
with
like
the.
this guy. I know he's got whiplash over there.
I low key do sometimes. I be hitting him with one of these. I be hitting him with the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Dude,
I gotta disappear on them.
you go forehead to floor.
I do. You gotta disappear on them. I don't know why I do that, low key.
I mean, I've
But
made fun of you to my wife, like, and if I can see you, or if I look back, or if I watch a recording, I'll look for you, and I.
that's like, what can I say, bro? I'm trying to. But to me, like the prostrations, like the half prostrate. What the heck is this triangle? Anyway, the half prostration stuff, like what I do, where I do that, and I throw myself kind of down. I'm throwing myself down as if I'm throwing myself at the feet of the Lord. That's kind of
Yeah.
how I envision it. Like if God was standing in front of me, I'm not going to slowly bow. I'm going to throw myself at the feet of the Lord. But it also
So you're
looks
trying to work.
hilarious
So you're
from an
trying to work your way
outside
to heaven.
perspective.
You believe in works-based salvation. Is that what you're saying?
I do. I believe in a work/faith salvation. Actually,
You know
it's
what's
a
crazy
combo.
is hearing uh the different. You
You
don't
just broke
what?
the completely wrong. You just broke the completely wrong wall. Had you just leaned left, you would
Oh,
have
for real?
got it.
I don't even know what I was doing. I was just being foolish. But you know Father Seraphim Holland, right?
I believe so.
And then how he got like verbally attacked by that lady in Greece.
Oh yeah. It happens.
And how she was like, "Oh, you believe in works-based salvation," and which you hear at different times or whatever. And my thing is, what exactly do we do in Orthodox? Like, we don't even do that much. Like,
Isn't proclaiming faith works?
yeah, but like my thing,
Isn't
I mean, yeah, like our parents, like we do the thing they give to the poor, they make sandwiches, and I know plenty, Orthodoxy they have, they do various, community things, right? Nothing wrong with that. But that's not what like Orthodoxy
that's
is known for.
yeah no
So I don't
no. I mean, if
understand
you
where the
do
works-based things comes from.
well, because they think we're Catholic,
But even
for
I
starters.
still I don't even see Roman Catholics as doing
Well,
a
think of the
whole
Catholic
lot.
charities. That's one of the Catholic charities are one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest charitable foundations actually worldwide. I think it is the biggest international charitable foundation worldwide is Catholic Charities. Um, thing with that is though, is like even the Catholics don't necessarily believe that like the charities save you. They believe in the same vision that we do, where it's, to my knowledge, it's your faith and your works that save you.
How do you drop, by the way?
Oh,
Like
I'm
drop
still trying to figure
things.
that out. Okay, what are you playing on?
Oh, Xbox. Oh,
PC?
okay, I see now. Oh,
Yeah, up on the D-pad, and then you press X on whatever you want to drop.
but anyways, like it's like I feel like Protestants are the ones known for
Well,
doing things.
here's well, that's like Jehovah Witness, Mormonism. That's works-based salvation because that's where literally it doesn't matter what's actually in your heart. What matters is you do this checklist, and then you get 500 million wives in
Dude,
heaven. Oh, never
headshot?
mind. That's
What?
Islam. That's Islam. But you become a god if you do these things and you do these things and you need to have as many wives as possible on earth so you can have all these spiritual wives with celestial sex and all this.
Celestial sex.
It's just, hey, bro, that's what they believe.
That's crazy.
I don't know what that means. I don't. It's a little. Listen, that just sounds a little too intense for me. I don't
Yeah,
know if I.
celestial sex. Like in Watchmen?
All right. No, I don't want any part in those celestial. Nothing like that. But that's what they teach. That's what they believe. Now, the Mormons walk back their theology every 10 years and say there's something that they're not. Like right now, they're hell bent on being considered Christian, even though they're like not Christian at all because they believe Christ is created, um, which automatically disqualifies them from being Christian because they also don't believe that they also don't believe that Christ is one with the Father. So, again, automatically excludes them. Like they believe Christ and the Father are two totally separate gods. So that automatically like negates them from being in contention of being a Christian, but whatever. But that's the weird thing. They're like so hell bent on being called Christian. We are Christian. We are. They like will sit there and argue till like the death. How did you get knocked?
Because I got
By
sniped.
who?
Where'd you go? Oh.
this dude really thinks he's gonna build his way to safety. This dude really thinks he's got works-based salvation. He's gonna build his way to the win.
No,
Okay,
but
maybe he will.
when I was in the men's home, both of them, like we did a lot of hitting the streets and community service and different stuff. And coming into Orthodoxy,
Yeah.
it's not like that. Like I know that Saint
I
Sophia
mean, you're
has
encouraged. Ain't no way I got killed by Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but well, to my
big
knowledge, it's like
chungus.
you're supposed to be doing the charitable acts
Yeah,
all the time. It's just that Orthodoxy, because it's not centralized the way Catholicism is, Orthodoxy hasn't ever had an opportunity, nor has it needed to. This is definitely a box. There's like 7 people around this person, and they're just, I'm not going for them. It has not had the opportunity to found like a diocese-wide charitable foundation, because, like I said, it's not centralized. So how do you centralize something that's not centralized? You can't. Um, by the way, I have a Christmas gift for you.
appreciate
Um,
that.
next time I see you at Saint Sophia, I need to give it to you. Are you gonna be there? What are you doing Saturday?
I work a double Saturday. Well, I mean I'll be there Sunday, but and we'll be there
I won't.
Christmas Eve for at least the royal hours and the Vesperal liturgy, and then excuse me,
Okay.
we'll be
Are
there.
they doing a liturgy on Christmas, by the way?
Yeah, in the morning at 10.
Okay. Did they
So,
update the schedule?
yeah, I have the schedule connected to my calendar, so I see.
Because the Serbians are old calendars. So now I'm just gonna be celebrating old and new Christmas. And old calendar and new calendar. Yeah. And old count. So basically I'm gonna be celebrating both.
Yeah.
Like I'll be privately celebrating the holidays on their proper days, but then liturgically I'll be celebrating them with
So
at Father Justin's.
you'll be 13 days before
Yeah, no, behind.
behind.
Like our Christmas is January 7th.
So it's after Theophany.
Yeah.
It's what's funny is
Like today,
I'm learning. I've learned, of course, more than when I started. So now I know like January 6th is Theophany. Now I'm like super cool because
today
I know things.
is like I am knowledgeable.
I am knowledgeable.
Uh today bro thinks he's John Chrysostom.
Yeah, no, you know what is something that I don't know how to explain it. A process is so I in my part of my history is I didn't really have any hammered out doctrine or theology. You could say
Hmm.
I was like an ecumenist at that time. I was way more accepting of other things within
Yeah, same.
Christianity, except homosexuality. But like I really wasn't like Baptist or Seventh Day Adventist or um,
Now I got beef
Methodist.
with the 7th day, bro. They're weird.
I've met some. I've been to a service and a Bible study though. That's a whole other story.
They're
But I just
they're
did a
very
lot at that
strange.
time. Like I want to say most of 2024, I just wanted to go to church whenever I wasn't at work. So whatever church was having
You're
service
still
or,
like
huh?
that. You're pretty much still like that.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, now I have a child, so it's harder to. Pretty much, I just go Sundays, not to. Anyway, regardless, but so I would go. So I would go to like 3 churches in a day. I would do like Baptist Bible study on Wednesdays. It was usually like Baptist Bible study with black people at 11:30, and then I go to a Lutheran chapel
Black people at
service. It
11.
was. I mean, it was a most predominantly black church, and then I go to a Lutheran chapel service, and then that night I would go to one or two others. It was just wherever was having something going on. I just wanted to be uh, around
Present.
Christians.
Yeah.
Um, and I always, one thing I liked about, even though I never went Roman Catholic Church, is they had Mass all the time. I never got to go, but I was like, I do want, that would be nice to be a part of a community that had service, a church or services all the time, right?
So
But
the
still, I was,
reason Orthodox mainly don't have more than one liturgy at a time or a day is because you're only supposed to receive Eucharist once a day.
oh, that makes
The
sense.
problem the Catholic Church has is that they have people that go to Mass like 3 times a day and receive 3 times, as if the first time wasn't like, it kind
Yeah,
of negates the first time. Was the first time not good enough?
yeah,
So that's the problem with having Mass like 3 times a day. as a church, you should probably only be having like liturgy once a day.
It does say the some of the fathers say to meet daily, or like basically to meet as often as possible. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
not
like
the multiple times a
if you're
day thing,
having
but
like yeah, like if you're having like Father Justin has service usually twice a day, but it's usually one liturgy and then one like vespers or like one paraclesis or something like that. So it's like a mix. Like it's one commune. Like you're not supposed to commune, like I said, more than one time a day. Like there was one time I communed at Holy Archangels, and then I went to the feast day, the festal liturgy of Saint Nicholas, and I didn't commune because I wasn't sure, and I asked Father Thomas, and he was like, "Yeah, no, just one communion."
they did
He-
communion on that they did was it was a Vesper liturgy
it's a festal
festal.
liturgy, not a vesper. Vesper, there is no such thing as a vestal liturgy, to my knowledge.
I think wait
Uh,
let me see because it says something on the it says of Saint Basil.
I think it's festal, which just
No,
means it's like a liturgy celebrated.
Vesperal liturgy of Saint Basil on the 24th at Saint Sophia.
Oh, that's because that's the liturgy of Saint Basil. So the vesperal is like I believe that's referring to the liturgy of Saint. I could be wrong, but I would imagine that that is referring to Saint Basil because that's Saint Basil. You know, Saint John Chrysostom. There's the liturgy of Saint John Chrysostom. Then there's
Right.
the liturgy of Saint John and the liturgy of Saint Matthew.
Yeah.
That's the
I didn't know there
liturgy
was a
of
Matthew
Saint
one.
Basil.
I know there's Saint
I
James.
believe there's a. I might be thinking of James. It's 11 o'clock at night, and I've been to 3 different churches today.
You tired of me, huh?
I am a little tired.
Okay, well, you don't have a newborn.
That is true. How is your newborn?
She's good. It's just, it can be a lot. It's not the
Sleeping,
worst.
crying, eating, and pooping. That's all she does, I'm sure.
What's funny is she doesn't poop as much as I thought she would, but she pees. She pees as much as I thought she would poop. She pees a lot, and that's what it's like.
That's
Dang.
most babies.
Yeah,
When
I
I was
didn't really.
babysitting, I remember that kid peed like a freaking. You would think you would need a mop
Yeah, yeah, and so
if you didn't have a diaper on.
usually when she wakes up, when it's because she wakes up to cry because she's hungry. Usually I gotta change, but that's frustrating because I don't want her to sit in her wet diaper, but she's hungry, so she's crying because she's hungry. So I have to feed her while she's fussing and moving, and I keep shoving the pacifier in her mouth just to get her to chill out, until she can eat. And so
Hmm.
that can be overwhelming, especially at uh, 4 in the morning. And that's something that it was something I learned about myself is how little patience I actually have, or how easily I can get frustrated. I had to talk to Father Thomas.
Yeah,
I had to talk to Father Thomas about it because I was like, I get angry with my own child, you know, just because I'm.
that's a common thing for new parents. I've heard.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be easy at all. I just didn't realize how frustrated I was actually going to get.
How's Jaylee?
She's good. Oh, she's better. I mean, now she's more recovered. I was talking in the chat. Now she's back up in my grill, back up in my face, being obnoxious. I'm like, wow, I miss when you were in pain and you could barely move. Because now she's all.
Bro, she's gonna see this. Is
Oh, I
she's
tell her
gonna?
that to her face.
That's
I'll
crazy.
go tell her right now. Hey, I miss when you were in
What did
pain.
she say when you said that?
No, I mean, we joke a lot. We're both
Yeah,
we have that. I mean, not like in a oh we abuse each other and we love it. Not we try not to be toxic, but we definitely we clown each other a lot. Um,
yeah. No, I get what you mean.
but
Nothing wrong with that.
she's a lot. Well, she's a lot more. That first couple weeks are rough. You know, would have to help her out of bed, because she was just in a lot of pain. You know, she cried plenty because she was in so much pain, and then things are contracting back into place, and that was a lot. And so she still has a few things, but no, she's
Yeah.
probably I want to
How's
say probably like
postpartum?
65% versus the 25% that she was
No.
at.
How's postpartum? Has that started yet?
I don't. Uh, is that not as soon as the baby's out? Is that not the beginning of
I
postpartum?
mean, I don't know. It's not like an as soon as like some women don't have it.
Oh,
to
the
my knowledge. It's not
depression
like a
thing.
yeah.
Oh, I want to say she has moments. Um,
Well, everybody has
but
moments. I got
but
moments.
also
I don't
she.
got no baby.
You said what?
I said I have moments. I don't even got no baby.
But also, I mean, to be honest, we kind of had a conversation beforehand, like when she was still pregnant. I was like, I understand, postpartum feelings, but I'm not gonna deal with anything illogical. And I remember she gave the example of not showering. I guess maybe that's something women might do, is if they
No.
just have postpartum depression, like they won't shower. And I was like, exactly. Trust me, I'm not dealing with that. I'll tell you, go take a shower. Like you can
Tell
get
you
it
you
together.
stank.
Yeah, like I'm not like, but
What did she
also,
say when you told her that? When you were like, I'm not dealing with that.
oh, but we had it was a conversation. I didn't just say that, but um,
That's what I'm saying. What did she say?
I mean, she didn't disagree. It was just like I
That's
said, I just said anything illogical. Like I understand. I mean, having a child is serious. Like of course, I would never pretend that
yeah,
that's no big deal. Um, and it's a lot. Like I said, it tests my own emotions. So you just
yeah,
um, hide.
yeah. I get what you mean.
But but I was like, that's like I
Oh
said,
shoot.
it's a
Oh shoot. You said hide. I thought you were joking,
no, it's that's what it said. It said hide here.
bro. There's like a million people here. Help.
Well, there was that.
We're getting clapped.
Yeah, but back what I was saying is I didn't have like theology right before, not really.
I'm getting clapped by Kim K.
um, but then I came across this video or
Yeah, that's what
something.
happened.
You know who Father Tom Soroka is out of
No,
Pittsburgh?
I guess I do.
You do?
I probably do if I saw a picture. I know priest faces now. They start to all blend into each other now. Long beard,
Yeah. No,
long
he
hair.
doesn't have a long beard. Um,
Oh,
but I came across a video and I learned that Orthodoxy doesn't believe that Christ took the wrath of God, that they don't believe in penal substitution, right? And
oh yeah, no.
once I learned that, I was like, "Oh, that's what I believe. Technically, what I if I would have put it into words, that's what I would have believed beforehand." And so
Yeah,
I kind of, on my own time, I watched a few videos on the atonement, on what the Orthodox belief is on like the atonement and, what Christ actually did and, what it accomplished and all that stuff. And
yeah.
that's been an interesting transition. Um, because yeah, I
I
want to say,
most the crazy thing is I was Orthodox before I knew it was Orthodox.
yeah. Well,
Like I had
I was prepared. I was ready for it because I was already
oh
reading
no,
early church fathers beforehand, the DDK beforehand. I understood that the Eucharist was like cent was central to the whole thing, and then Orthodoxy. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's.
for
I was
me,
like,
like theologically, I was already Orthodox. I just didn't even know it. Like I didn't know it existed. Had I known Orthodoxy existed, I would have been Orthodox the second I found out about it.
I would have
And
would have.
like really
I
went
heard
at it.
about it at the perfect time because I was very anti Roman Catholicism. But I was like, no, they worship Mary, and then you don't have to do the cross, and the rosary's not in the Bible. I was kind of like that. I was
Yeah.
kind of, you could say I was kind of sola scriptura before, but like pretty quickly into coming to Saint Sophia, I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to accept all this stuff. I was like, I know this is the true church, and so I know the icons aren't going anywhere. Mary's not going anywhere. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Like, so and then eventually,
Yeah.
figured it out and we had some conversation
Well,
with
that's
Father
what it's
Tom.
all about. You submitting to the church.
So essentially, and so basically, everything my theology and all that stuff is being I'm learning it now. Like it's all that's good. I'm being built up by the church from foundation. Because like I said, I
Yeah.
really didn't have too many. What's funny though, I honestly wasn't a Trinitarian though, not too long before, and
Really?
I remember I actually broke it down to how to Jaylee. I was like, "Geez, God can't be a Trinity because of this, and that." And then I come into Orthodox saying, "Oh yeah, well, I was wrong," and I know now, and both of Jaylee and I were both like, "Oh, Christmas isn't in the Bible, so we don't need to do Christmas and such." And but looking back, we needed the church because we were headed straight to hell. You know what I'm saying? Because of our beliefs, because we just believe wrong. Um,
Yeah, a lot of times it's like, well, I can just do it on myself. Well, and the other thing, like, I mean, you can go into this a little bit more than I can because I was Roman Catholic. So, not to say the Bible is never important to me. Like, I mean, I did Bible studies and stuff, but you know how it is, like, even in the Catholic Church, where the Bible is still central, but the Bible is not like it's not the only authority.
yeah.
So, how was it that you got out of like, well, if it wasn't in the Bible, then then it's not this.
I
Whatever.
want to
Like, if it's not in the
say,
Bible, then it's not real.
I want to say it was reading. Come get some of this shield, but
I'm full.
it was because I started reading. What it was, you know, Sam. I'm sure you know Sam Shamoon, right?
Yeah, I've heard the
So
name.
I came across a video of his, and it was the title was like, "This shattered my sola scriptura," right? And I was like, interesting.
Hmm.
And so, oh no, and no, and you know, I mean, you know, Luigi, or this might have been
Yeah.
after, but that might have been after. But so I watched the Sam Shamoon video, and he was talking about finding a church with historicity, and he mentioned Orthodoxy, the Orthodox Church, and he was talking about Roman Catholicism. So I never really had to make the choice, but I was like, it might end up being a decision between whatever Orthodoxy is, whatever that means, and Roman
Yeah.
Catholicism because of historicity. So then I started. I don't remember exactly how I came across them, but I started reading like Ignatius Seven Letters, the Didache, and so for me that was like the Bible all over again. Is
I see.
these new writings, and I was like, dude, this
Yeah.
is amazing. Like, just it was. I mean, they're amazing. I don't know, I'm not sure how much of you read like the first letter of Clement and all that stuff. Like, it's awesome stuff. And if you up to me, if you love the Bible, these new things will make you. I mean, it keeps you connected to the Bible, but it's like a whole other thing. Because I felt like it's not that I had the Bible memorized, not even close, and I wasn't like a Bible expert at all. But I had read so much scripture, it kind of lost its new flair, and
Yeah.
so um, yeah, I was starting to. I don't know. I don't really know what I was starting. I don't remember what I was starting to explore, but I needed something new. I needed that some juice and maybe in my scriptural life. That's one reason I so much enjoyed going to so many different churches and moving around so much is because I was kind of tired of being just reading the Bible on my own. It was like, okay, I've read the Bible on my own enough. It's kind of lost
Yeah.
its fun just by myself. I want to dialogue with people, and so that's one reason why I was going to church so much and so many different churches. I just want to be around Christians, people who love Jesus, that I can kind of get into this stuff with. Um,
Yeah. I get that.
yeah.
For me, like I said, I mean, I never had that issue because I was never sola scriptura. Um,
And then
for me,
I
I just
was
kind of was like,
around
well,
when at the men's homes. There was kind of like sola scriptura kind of world.
of course there was. It's evangelicalism.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had a dude. I'll never
Um,
forget this, and I realized how much um, people um, how much people don't change. Like, they'll become Christian, but they really don't change. It's this dude. So the men's homes. I mean, it was a bunch of ex drug addicts, ex gangbangers, and they had stopped doing that stuff. Of course, which is glory to God. It's if you're no
yeah.
longer gangbanging, that's a beautiful thing. But I remember one of the guys. He was like, "Oh, I've been gangbanging all my life, and I used to hop out of cars and do this, this, and this." And he says, "Now I hop out of cars and give people church flyers." And I was like, "I'm pretty sure that's the same thing. It's the same attitude. It's just Christian gangbanging, right? You haven't actually." And so that dude I'm talking about, he had a lot of issues. Like, he ended up like relapsing, getting on drugs. And not that I haven't had my failures as a Christian, but you know, he was just very get in your face, very prideful about his like new life or whatever and all that. Um, and so I was
I'm
like,
saved, fool.
yeah, but I was like, and then he was one of those like, oh, it doesn't matter if you go home, if you do drugs and all this tomorrow, Christ already died for you, which was this. It's the most spit in the face of
Once saved,
Christ.
always saved.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Like imagine how Christ would feel is he dies on the cross for your sins, and you think, oh,
It's
I
okay
can
if
go.
you smoke crack, Holmes.
Yeah, like it's okay if I smoke crack tomorrow. He's not gonna trip about it. Like that's
Yeah.
so like that's blasphemous.
Just saying the words like God ain't going to trip, I feel like it's blasphemous in itself.
Yeah, but and so I realized that in just in that world, it's just a very unfulfilling world.
Watch behind you. Yeah.
But we'll have to
Yeah, for
wrap it
me,
up
like I
after
said,
this. We'll have to wrap it up after this
I'm sorry.
match. So I can hear my child crying.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
I'm sure Jaylen's like, your dad's in the room playing video games.
I gotta work tomorrow. I'm sure she is. She's probably all salty.
We we got the baby doctor in the morning.
When is when's the blessing? When's the 40 day?
40 days on the 28th.
Okay, so it's coming up.
Yeah. But we have to.
Uh,
We don't know about baptism yet because she has to have her birth certificate, but we can't order her birth certificate until she's at least 5 weeks. So we've got a few more weeks to
mm,
order that, and then however long it takes to come in. Uh,
they
and then
didn't give you a birth certificate at the hospital?
no,
I thought they just gave you one at the hospital.
no, or maybe that's how they used to do things. I don't know. I know very little. Jaylee knows more about this stuff than I do. But what
God.
learning, but go back to that kind of once saved, always saved things. You realize, I mean, Orthodoxy is it embraces that it's a process that you just
Oh
you,
yeah, you'll
you
hear most Orthodox people be like, I have no idea if I'm going to heaven or not.
yeah, you
Can't
just it's
tell
like
you.
a one day at a time. But it's funny because I remember we went to a Baptist church at one point, and they were like, "Oh, just ask you a question. If you were to die today, are you 100% sure you go to heaven?" And we said, "Yeah." I wouldn't say that anymore, but I did went through that.
Yeah, of course you say yeah, because it's like you want to say yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I mean,
of
I
course
believed
I
it
would.
at the time. That was where I guess my
Yeah,
theology was at. I didn't believe once saved, always saved. But because the Hebrews chapter 6, it literally says you can fall away. So I don't understand. The Bible refutes once saved, always saved. But
well, the Bible refutes just Protestantism in general.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
You know what I was. I don't know if if you'll follow 100% what I'm saying, but you know how Christ said, nothing good can come from a corrupt tree. And
hmm,
everybody agrees that the Roman Catholic Church was corrupt in 1054.
hell, even they agree with it.
Yeah, so, but everything, not everything,
They're
but
right above us, by the way.
everything outside of Orthodoxy comes out of that time. So, it just based off what Christ said, that nothing can come out of a corrupt tree, there can't be Protestantism or anything because it was a corrupt, like, you couldn't have fixed it.
Oh my gosh, she was one hit away. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, they'll still refute it and be like, "Well, we corrected the corrupt tree." Come on, make it make sense.
Yeah, and even in Matthew chapter 3, it says that Christ lays the axe at the root of the tree, and then in Revelation, Christ does the correcting. So it's like,
Hmm.
how can human beings?
Well, Christ has always done the correcting in the Orthodox Church. You look at it, the tree gets somewhat, even a little bit corrupted, and immediately the next guy comes along and fixes it. That's
Yeah,
what's always happened.
but yeah.
Oh
So
man.
tell the people that aren't watching where they can find you, and
Yeah, Awoken Voices. I need to finish telling the Father Justin story too, real quick. Awoken Voices on YouTube. You can leave the link too in the description.